Hi, my name is Jorrit Schulte for EA Tats Plus, and we're gonna create that heartbeat you saw just. And this is the sound, the music that I get from musicbeyond.com. There's the site right there. Just go and click on BL Cool and then search for Bylot or something like that, and on 30-second version, and download that, and there you go. So let's just start by adding a new solid and calling it a background BG, make comp size, and okay. And this is going to be our background, of course. So let's first add a fill, and just because so we can see it, and make this a dark blue color, something like that. Okay, and add a circle to do the hotspot. Like so. Let's set this to additive, and when we throw the opacity down, you see that it's getting lighter. Let's put it in the corner, make it bigger, and feather it a lot. So something like that. This is pretty good. Opacity down a lot, so it doesn't look that good right now. But when we are adding the grid, you won't notice that much. So let's add a grid and add it on top of it, and make this color burn. Let's see. There it is. Then make it black. And set this to width slider, so we I set it to 90. You have like the square boxes, pretty big, that's good. And let's put the opacity down till we get like a burnish look. That looks cool. Alright, duplicate the grid effect. And just go ahead and with the width do divided by 2, which of course is 45. There we go, and set the border to 3. Right, duplicate it again, and again, divided by 2. Whoops. Divided by 2. Right, and set the border to something like 1,5. Alright. Pretty good. So, let's close this all. And let's do the particles, but first we have to import the sound. So let's just listen to this for a second. Alright, sounds good. And let's just watch at the waveform. You see that is a good beat for a heartbeat. Alright. Let's create a new solid. Control Y and call this particles or whatever. Make comp size and okay. Okay, let's add particular. And we got ourselves our basic particular, like you see. Now we have to expression under the emitter the position X, Y to go from left to right over and over again. So how do we do that? Let's alt click on the position X, Y to add an expression. And let's go. X equals to linear -25, comma, width plus 25. And what this will do is go in 1 second when we add time from -25 to the end plus 25. And first we have to add time, and we just can add a t because we have to change it later on. T equals to time for right now. Right? Y equals to right now just link it to the Y position. We can change it later on and do X, Y, end bracket. And there we go. Right now, this is going from left to the right. The only problem is, it will stay at the right. And we want it to go back to the left and to the right again, and over again. So how do we do that? We just go ahead and at the T, add a percent sign 1, and that will loop it after 1 second. If the animation is done, that is. So now it will go do that over and over again. That's pretty nifty, right? Nice. Alright. Let's set the velocity to 0 and all those other velocity options all to 0, so we have a straight line. And let's up the particle per second to make this a line. And set the particle to sphere and sphere feather to 0. And then the color to maybe green. And set the transfer mode of the layer to additive maybe. And the opacity down. That should look pretty good. So right now it is moving from left to right, but you can see it because the particles live too long. Right, there has to be a gap. Right now it's just one line and stays as a line. So what we need to do is add just some couple of expressions. So let's add a slider control to control it. Called speed. Actually seconds left to right. That's pretty good. And right now, just set the time and then divide it by 2. Or divide it by that slider. So it got an error, that is logic. So now it takes 1 second, but when we set this to 2, it takes 2 seconds to get from left to right. And over again. So, when we now go ahead and in the particle settings, the live, we alt click on that, and then drag that to seconds left to right, the particles will live exactly 2 seconds. And there's still no gap, so we have to do minus 0.5 or something like that. So now you see there's a gap, and it's actually pretty big. Maybe 0.1. Still a little big, maybe little small actually. Let's do it 0.15. That looks nice. And you have this particle here that we won't want. So to fix that, go to the position subframe and set from linear to exact. And it's a little bit slower, but you know, you have to do it. So that looks good. Now we have to make this move upwards to the beat. So we're gonna add trapcode sound keys. So let's solo this layer and the sound layer and add sound keys. For the audio layer, select the sound layer we have, and now you can see the sound moving to the beat. See the bars moving to the sound. Okay, when you play it, you can see it. And just try to find the beat, which is in this case the red lines going up. So go to the spectrum adjustments, and we're gonna do the smoothness a little bit up, so we can select it a little bit easier without getting errors, little errors. So now you can see clearly the red and the orange is the beat. So just try to select this with these 2 points and with the box. So something like that. That should do. And set the type to peak of range. So the above line of the box will be 100 and the below line is nothing, 0, the lowest point. And everything below it is also 0. Everything above is also 100. So let's just fix this. We don't want that fella going into the box here at that point. Alright. That looks pretty sweet. And also we have these blue lines. The blue lines going up there. And this is the higher beat, the higher BT thingy. So, and the blue lines represent the treble. So when we set this up, we can select it easily. Because, you know, it's going up faster. And arrange to put it on and just select the where the blue lines come when the high beat is there, so that you see. Right, that's pretty good. Let's set this a little bit higher. And set the type also to peak of range. So 100 is a little bit. This should work. Now set the ranges, the output to 0 and 100. The below is 0 and above is 1. So we not want every frame keyframe with 5 per second. 5 keyframes per second. That's enough. And let's see if everything is alright here. Okay, and set apply. And now keyframes will be made for output 1 and output 2. These fellas here. These will go from 0 to 1 when the beat is there. Like so. So let's just unsolo these layers. Shut off sound keys and the particular back on again. And now, let's go ahead and change it in the expressions. Let's Alt-click and click twice on the outputs. So we add an expression and delete it at once. So we can just see the keyframes in the timeline. Just a little trick. So let's go out. We want it to go up when the beat is there. So let's just put Y. Height divided by 2 because we want it to stay in the middle if there's no sound, no beat, plus output 1. Oops, what I did do like that. Alright. Times actually create another slider control. So control the height on this in pixels. So we're gonna do times the height. So right now it's 0, this is always 0. When we set this up higher, let's just right here, set this higher. We can see this working, kind of, but it's very pointy. If you want that, keep it this way, but else you have to select all the keyframes and go F9. I can do that because of the screen recording, so I can just gonna do it like this. But you can just choose F9 on your keyboard and it will smooth it, like you see. So that's nice. But right now, we see another problem, right? It's going only down, but we want to go up and down. It's going to the beat, that is cool, that's good, that's what we want, but it's only going down. So how are we gonna fix that? Let's add another slider control and call it switch speed. Or you know, it's probably misspelled, but nah. and do right before the height, go ahead and do times math with a capital M dot sin, S-E-N, open parenthesis, time, which is the speed, times the switch speed. And sin goes from 1 to -1 smoothly. So that's where we're gonna go up and down. So now when we set this to something higher, you see already it's working. Great, right? Let's give it a little more particles. So it keeps a straight line. And you don't see the dots. Like that. Alright. Okay, that looks pretty good. But we can higher the switch speed. That looks more heartbeaty. Like. And maybe the second, when we set this up, it will go into each other. It will squeeze it. And if you do it lower than 2, so the lower it is, the more stretch it is. But keep it beyond 0, else it will disappear. Like you see, it will stretch and squeeze if you change that. Set the particles maybe to 800 or something like that. So we see a line. Not even. So set this to 1000, that will do it. Okay, that is good. Let's add a circle on the front of this line so we can see where it starts and ends. Let's add a circle effect. And set the color to be the same color as the particles. So it looks like it is part of the line there. Set the blending mode to normal so we can see it behind it, the line behind it. Set the radius something like 8 maybe. And pick up the center. Alt click on the center and pick up just to the XY position in particular. Actually, maybe, yeah, like that. XY position in particular. So now it's always in front. There you can see the circle there. There you go. Maybe make it a little bit bigger, actually, 10 or so. Alright. And actually we can set a expression for this. 10 plus the second output of sound keys. And maybe times 50. And let's preview this. I don't know if you can see this because of the frame rate and everything, but it looks pretty good. It's on the beat and the little ball is moving at the higher pitch. And I changed this to 8 actually. So that it could be a little bit higher, but you know. Let's work on the overall look a little bit more. Let's add a glow. And just apply that. There we go. Let's change the glow radius. And threshold. That doesn't do anything at all, actually. Just the radius. Let's see what it looks like without. And with it. Ah, much better. Great. So let's add a text. And just type HeartBeat monitor. That's just deep. Deep, man. And maybe a little line between the heart and beat. I don't know. And let's choose another font so it works a little bit better. And that will work. Oh, right there. That will work. A little bit smaller. I want no stroke here. Maybe squeeze the letters together a little bit more. Alright, that's pretty good. Pretty sweet. Let's add a vignette. Or vignette, I don't know. Oops. Layer new adjustment layer. And call this vignette. I don't know how to spell it actually, just call this something else. Color correction, yeah. I know how to write 2 C's right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and choose the elliptical mask tool and double click on it. Double click on it. What the? Double click on that. Ah, there we go. And we of course need to invert this so the outer edge is affected. Let's add brightness and contrast. And up the contrast and maybe lower the brightness. And we need to feather this a lot, like you can see. Hit F and feather it a lot. Okay. Add fast blur. And repeat the horizontal, repeat the edge pixels and up this stuff. That's a little too high. Maybe set this to 8 again. That looks pretty nice. Alright. Let's close these. And I think we're about done here. Let's do a quick preview. Gap is a little bit too big here, so you can change that if you want. But anyhow, my name is Jurt Schulte for EA Tats Plus. Thank you for watching. Ah crap, forgot Michael Jackson jokes.